We have a breaking story, though.
Huge explosion while we were having
The elevator shook the whole building. It was quite a...
Resulted in multiple casualties.
People shouldn't jump to conclusions before we have all the facts.
Michael?
Yes.
I'm Rick. Nice to meet you, bud.
It's nice to meet you too.
Go ahead and have a seat. So, Michael, tell me about your experience in journalism.
Okay. I would say my first interest in journalism started my junior year in high school, where I worked for the weekly newsletter, and then my freshman year in college, where I worked for the campus newspaper, and I wrote about 100 stories ranging from editorials to weekly columns.
So, out of all those articles you wrote, what would you say is your favorite one?
I would have to go with The Silent Singer. He was this middle-aged man that proclaimed that he sung, but in fact he did no such thing. He would only go up to the mic, close his eyes, and that was it. People would show up and leave after about 10 minutes because of not hearing a single thing, but later on in his career, people would show up just to cheer him on. I have no idea about why he got so popular, but I found it so interesting.
Oh, so he just walked up to the mic, closed his eyes, and just stood there.
Not a single word.
Well, I gotta say that's the best story I've heard in a long time. So, Michael, what is your main objective in life?
To help people and to capture their stories. I believe that to make this world a better place begins on a more personal level, building relationships and solving problems and bridging gaps in between our differences.
How old are you?
19.
19. That's pretty impressive. So earlier you mentioned college. What exactly are you majoring in?
I'm double majoring in journalism and political science with a minor in economics.
Well, that's pretty impressive. Well, Michael, I'm here to tell you that this job here at Life Magazine is perfect for you. You see, we're constantly interviewing our representatives, politicians, artists, various musicians, and, it's all a great time. But you have a lot of potential, Michael. I really believe that, You get the potential to really have an impact on this world. But I should warn you of some challenges you might face, sacrifices that need to be made. For the greater good, of course. But you probably won't be around long enough to see these changes. How do you feel about this, Michael?
I'm a little bit confused. I don't see how this is relevant to the job.
That's because you're not here for a job. As a matter of fact, we don't even work for Life Magazine. You won't be the one actually writing the article, but rather the subject of the article.
Why am I here?
You see, Michael, I'm sure you know that tragic events always trigger the implementation of a new reform, a new policy, and sometimes a declaration of war. With that being said, if you want change, you first need a tragedy. So, example, World War I was bound to happen, right? I mean, the tensions in Europe had been brewing for years. Now, it wasn't until that Archduke Franz Ferdinand for Austria-Hungary was assassinated that Austria-Hungary went to war. Okay? So, all we really need is a tragedy to ignite that change that we're looking for. A peaceful revolution. You'll be playing a key role in our new position as a political state.
What is going on? What do you want from me?
Full cooperation.
How?
We'll get to that in a minute. But
Rick, I'm sorry for wasting your time. Unfortunately, I do have to go home and run some errands as well as let my dog out because there is nobody there.
But, Michael, you don't have any dogs. And, it's 2:46. Doesn't your mother get home about now?
How do you know this? What is that?
This is you, Michael. This is a transcript of your entire life. Why don't we take a look at it? The beginning's always the most boring part. Okay, why don't we start around the time you were 9? Here's an article on your father. It says here that he drowned after saving a 6-year-old from a freezing lake. He's quite the hero, Michael. I'm sure you miss him very much. Oh, 8th grade science fair project titled The Progression of Nuclear Engineering. First place, not bad. I'm sure your dad's real proud. In 10th grade, you were questioned by your counselors about your final paper for history class titled Redefining Justice and Freedom. That same year, you bought 13 books online. 10 of them related to politics, 2 were computer programming, and the other was on world religions.
How do you know this?
Purchase records, search history, what else? At 17, you began to learn Russian on your own, since your school only taught Spanish and French. And just a few months ago, you began to learn Farsi. We know everything, Michael. I have a record of everything you've posted on social media, along with every bit of mail you've ever received. Every time you've reorganized your room, we can see it through the webcam on your computer. It's really nifty. Every time you answer a phone call or send a text message, go on long drives with your friends on the weekends, have a family dinner when your grandparents fly in, we're always there. But we're not here to talk about who you were. We're here to tell you who you are now. A threat to society. You and 9 others are terrorists belonging to a new organization of domestic terrorism. Now, you and I know that this organization isn't actually real. It's an illusion. See, now we need to create that tragedy, that demand for change, Michael.
I'm not going to.
Yes, you are.
No.
You see that? That's your mom in the kitchen right now. Do we have a clear target? No! Are you going to fully cooperate, Michael?
Yes! Yes.
Sit down. Clean up this fucking mess.
Why me?
Why not, Michael? You've got the perfect background for this. I mean, you were raised without a father for half your life. You're majoring in journalism and political science. You've tested out of every single chemistry class you've ever taken. You're an excellent computer programmer. You've learned to speak Russian and Farsi. Your life, up to this point, could easily be interpreted as the uprising threat to this nation. People will start to wonder, how come we didn't see this coming? You know, I don't think you're seeing the big picture yet. You're doing a good thing, Michael. You're bringing change. You're gonna make this world a safer place. You and I know that our government is flawed, regardless of whatever political party is in office. We don't need another leader giving us the same promises and failed objectives as the ones previous. It's time to reconstruct our government, this foundation, and it begins with a wake-up call. Michael? Sorry it had to be you. to you. Go ahead and have a seat.